Good morning everyone. So today we'll start with a new unit, that is mobile transport layer, right? So till now we have discussed with the GSM services and mobile network layer and mobile IP protocols, right? So in this unit we are going to deal with the mobile transport layer. So what is the responsibility of this transport layer is, in order to send the data from end to end, either from sender to receiver end or by using either HTTPS protocol or SMTP or FTP, whatever the data is there, it needs to be reached directly to the receiver. So that is taken care by the transport layer. Okay. So basically in communication, computer networks, we do have certain protocols called two basic protocols we have. Those are TCP and UDP. Okay. So where UDP is called as a user datagram protocol and TCP is called as a transmission control protocol. These are the two protocols which are available for transfer of data. Transfer of data from one end to another end in a very reliable way. Okay. So the main differences between these two are, one is UDP and second one is TCP. So both of these are used for transfer of data. Then what is the use of using these two things is, so generally when we are where we don't want to have any reliability, that means if we don't want to have any acknowledgements, at that time we are going to use a protocol called UDP. And if we need any reliable service, that means if we need to get any acknowledgement that message was received to the receiver, at that time for reliability purpose and for erroneous data of transfer, we need to have a protocol called TCP, where TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. So in order for transferring of this data, we need to have a certain services which is generally called a port. So what is this port? Generally when we take our laptop, everyone will be saying that HTTPS run on the port number 80. Okay? That HTTPS will run on the port number 80, right? So what is that? Right? So generally for communication of devices, we need to have a certain thing. So generally when people want to communicate, we'll be using the speech. So if devices want to communicate, they'll be using a certain thing called port. So in this, for general communication of devices, we are going to use a concept called socket, where socket is a combination of IP address plus port number. Okay. So this is a system IP address and this port number will enable the service to input the data. That means whatever the data is that we requested from the server, that response is called the input, and output is whatever the request we give to the server, that is called as the output. That transform of flow is taken care by this port. So without using the port, no device will be able to communicate. So not only with port, but we need to identify who is the sender and who is the receiver. For that purpose, we need to have a thing called IP address. So generally we say that for communication, we need to have two things. One is IP address and second one is port number. Combinedly, these two are called as a socket. Okay. So this is a basic introduction for this conventional TCP IP protocol. So let us now discuss in depth about TCP and UDP. So first coming to UDP. UDP means it is a user datagram UDP stands for user datagram protocol. So this UDP is called a connectionless protocol. So what is meant by connectionless? So generally if you want to communicate, if we make a call, what happens initially, it will ring. If the other end will lift the call, then only we will be able to communicate. Okay. So if we want to communicate with the mail server, so what happens? So generally mail server means simply we will send the mail regarding whether the receiver has received or not, and something like immediately they don't want to communicate with us. Okay. That means no handshaking mechanism or connection establishment is required. Simply if we have a mail ID, we will send the mail. That is called as a connectionless protocol. That means in this we don't need to have any handshaking reliable problem, and there is no connection establishment phase. So if there is no handshaking, means handshaking refers to the connection establishment itself. If there is no connection establishment, there is no concept of sessions. So if there is no concept of session, obviously no termination phase also. And after that, if any traffic or congestion network problem occurs in the network, that will not be taken care by this UDP protocol. So simply saying that when compared with TCP and UDP is a connectionless protocol which is not more reliable than TCP. Okay. So next coming to the TCP. So next coming to the UDP header format. So if we see this header format, each word we are going to call these parts as a word. Each line is called as a word. So a word is a word is a 32 bits. So if we consider here this source address is nothing but a IP address, and this destination address is also IP address, where each IP address will be of 32 bits. So that simply it will be a 4 bytes. Okay. So this is a normal header format of UDP, and this is the pseudo header format of UDP. So if we consider the header format of UDP, source port means what is a port? Nothing but a service access point which is used for accessing the applications. And this destination port is the receiver side. What is the port number for destination? So simply if we are going to use HTTP protocol, it is going to be 80. Okay. And something standard ports are 23 and 2220. And length indicates the length of the payload, that means the length of the data part. And checksum indicates that if there is any error in the data, if any data part is modified in the network, that data part should be taken care of, right? So for that it is going to calculate the CRC. And next thing is these are all zeros, and this proto identifies that what is the type of protocol being used while transferring the data. And next thing is UDP length. What is the header length for UDP? So this is a UDP header format. So it is going to contain two parts. One is normal UDP header, and second one is pseudo header. Okay. And next coming to the TCP. So TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. So in this we are going to say TCP is a very reliable protocol. So why we are going to say that TCP is a very reliable protocol? Because if there are two senders, A and B. So if we send a packet 1, immediately it is going to get an acknowledgement with packet number 2. That means the receiver B is going to expect a packet number, sequence number 2 from the sender A. Okay, so that is what happening with the TCP. So if this particular sequence number is taken care by the sender as well as the receiver, what happens means here the reliability is going to be maintained. Why? Because the receiver will be able to identify which packet has been lost in the network. So based on this sequence number and acknowledgement number, we are going to identify that TCP has more reliability when compared to UDP. And next one is data stream. So data stream indicates how the packets are being transferred in the network with the concept of sequence number and acknowledgement. And next thing is buffering and transmission. So why this concept of buffering? So in the network, if any packet, assume that this packet it has sent a packet number 3 and it has lost in the network. So what happens? Immediately after certain timeout phase, B is going to request. So after a certain timeout phase, what the A is going to do is something might happen in the network. That means some packet has been lost or corrupted or some delay in the network. Due to one of these reasons, a packet should be retransmitted. That retransmission can also take place in UDP, which is not present in that takes place in TCP which is not present in UDP. That is why there is the concept of buffering. So because of buffering, all the packets will get stored in the node itself. Okay, so that retransmission will take place very easily. And fourth one is in-order delivery. So if we have sent some 4 packets of data, and these do not have any sequence number like 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this want to get transmitted without any order, no one can understand the message what it is. So for that purpose, we have kept a concept called sequence number. So based on this sequence number, so even though that packet delivery is like this, immediately these can be rearranged as 1, 2, 3, 4. So what does it mean? So packet delivery, sequence, based on the sequence number, it is going to identify how the packet has been transferred in the network, and almost all the packets in the network will reach the destination in a ordered way. That is called as an in-order delivery and within a time period, right? And next one is congestion control and avoidance. So in this congestion control and avoidance, we do have a certain mechanisms. So firstly, what is meant by congestion? So congestion means something the packets get delayed or be stopped in the network without reaching to the destination. Either that might be in the due to the traffic or due to the delay or due to some corruption, whatever it is, or due to some hacking, the packets will not reach the receiver. So that is called as a congestion. Okay. So simply it is only because of a unnecessary load in the network, it will not reach the destination. That is called as a congestion. In order to avoid that congestion, we do have certain mechanisms called slow start, fast retransmit, or recovery. So we'll discuss these mechanisms in the next class. Okay. So this is about the TCP, and coming to the header format of TCP. It is the header format of TCP, and it is going to contain the source port and destination port. So source port and destination port, here each thing is called a word, and what is the port number for source and port number for destination. And the sequence number identifies that what is the packet sequence number. Okay, so if it starts from 0 or if it starts from any number, what is the sequence number for the packet? And if at all, if there is any sequence number and the data is returned, if there is any acknowledgement from the receiver, that acknowledgement number is denoted here by setting the acknowledgement field as 1. Okay. And next thing is data offset. So data offset defines that if at all, if we are going to send only 1 byte of data, we are not going to send only 1 byte of data into the network. We will be sending either from 0 to 4204 or from 0 to 2001. So here the gap between these is 2001. So this defines the offset. That means how many amount of data is being transferred in the network, and these are reserved for future. And if at all, if any other packets are needed for connection establishment and connection termination phase, reserved bits are used. And next is urgent bit, acknowledgement bit, push. That means if it is an immediate data, that should be sent immediately from the network to the destination. That is indicated in push flag. And reset. Reset is used when entire data is transferred from source to destination. What happens is that after the completion of data, this reset flag is set to 0. That means whatever the data we have sent till now, that is completed, and it should start its transmission in a fresh way. And SIM and FIN flag, finish flags and SIM flag, these are used for connection establishment phases. So as we have already discussed that there is no connection establishment phase in UDP and there is connection establishment phase in TCP. And this window size indicates that there is a so in a slow start phase, so ensure that this is a window, means nothing but a pointer which indicates how much amount of data should be transferred within a particular amount of time at one trip. Okay, so if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, if I have transmitted 0, 1, so window size is 2 now, right? So this is 1 and this is 2. Now my window size is 2. That means 2 bits of data will get transferred at a single sequence. That is indicated here and checksum. So here we have the concept of reliability. So by using the concept of CRC itself, it is going to calculate the checksum and urgent pointer. So if we set an urgent point here, that pointer should be indicated here such that it indicates that network has it is a immediate data that needs to reach the destination. Okay, and next one are options and the padding. If we want to pad any bits, we will use padding and data. So this data indicates that whatever the user, source wants to send the data to the destination, that the data is present here. Okay, so let us now discuss TCP data delivery part.